Before we get into this video, I just want to give a special shout out to the King Squad, the King Squad family, and the King Squad elites. I appreciate you guys greatly, and you guys are awesome. And don't let anybody tell you any different, all right? So, with that being said, if you're new here, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Share these videos. Really helps us get the truth out there because, well, as you saw from our previous videos, a lot of these liberal meltdowns, a lot of people are still lost and in the dark and really don't understand what's actually going on out here. Okay, this man Trump is literally just moving like Thanos. Okay, the Trump effect is real out here. But before we get into this video, let's go through some of these comments. So, number one, if Trump cured cancer, he would be criticized for not doing it sooner. And number two, we need to thank the Amish for pulling Pennsylvania across the line. Definitely thank the Amish, the Latinos. Shout out to all of them. Shout out to everybody, really. Yeah, they had 4 years. Trump's been there for 4 days. Sheesh. Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. It's really huge. Yeah, can we get rid of McConnell right now before he messes things up? Yeah, that seems to be a big concern. Yeah, that really is a big concern for a lot of people. Got to stop Mitch McConnell from planting his rhino replacement. Yeah, it's nuts. So that's that. Be sure to smash that like button, hit subscribe if you're new here. Welcome to the channel. Comment down below your thoughts. Let's get right into the video. Shout out to the liberal hive mind, and let's go.
Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Well, I guess Donald Trump wasn't so crazy after all, now was he? You know, that typical Trump campaigning style, elect me and I'm gonna make mountains move. It's just gonna happen, you gotta trust me.
Before I even arrive at the Oval Office, I will have the disastrous war between Russia and Ukraine settled. It will be settled quickly.
Before I even step into office, I'm gonna make this thing happen. It's the type of rhetoric that makes the pseudo-intellectuals in the media lose their mind. They essentially call him a nutcase every time he says something like this. Yep. But then, of course, Donald Trump actually gets elected, and we're right back to the first thing that I said in the video. Now it's so crazy after all, huh? It hasn't even been a week since Donald Trump has gained the title President-elect, once again for the second time, and already many of the big ambitious promises that Donald Trump presented in his incredible 2024 campaign seem to be coming to fruition, or at least the puzzle pieces are starting to be put into place. The dominoes have started to fall, and it's now been dubbed the Trump effect. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright friends, so I didn't exactly go into detail in that intro, but I'm sure you'll understand it's pretty clear. I present to you the Trump effect.
Donald Trump's not even president yet, and have you seen what's happened in the last 48 hours? The misogynist appoints the first ever woman to be chief of staff. The Taliban announced they want peace with America and to be taken off the terrorist list. Putin came out and said that Western civilization is not an enemy. Mexico has started securing the border in, of course, response to tariff threats. Saudi Arabia is kicking out all of their Hamas leaders. New York is cleaning up their illegal migrant crisis. Xi Jinping came out and said he wants to peacefully coexist with China and said that they respect American people. The European Union chief finally came out and said, hey America, can we start buying LNG from you so they stop buying from Russian gas? Putin says he takes Donald Trump's plan to end the war with Ukraine very seriously and Russia supports it. The Houthis are stepping back. The Hamas called for an immediate end to war. He's calling for term limits in from Congress so that way people like Nancy Pelosi stop being forever members. Stock markets and crypto hit all-time highs.
What's it been, 4 or 5 days? Donald Trump isn't even president yet, he's president-elect. It's been 4 days as I'm recording this video and 5 days as you're seeing this video, and already it feels like the world is healing already. Frankly, it feels like America standing on the world stage is actually making a difference for the first.
Yeah, once Trump got elected, it was like the air got cheaper. It felt like $300 stayed in my account. It didn't feel like every day cost $300 anymore. It was like the first time the air was like, it's like once he got elected, the sky was bluer and the grass was greener. I was like, man, whew, life's not so bad.
First time in 3 years and 10 months. You know, just like that, all of a sudden, America has an impact on the world. I wonder what that could be. Well, of course, you're probably already thinking it. It's called strong, competent leadership, and most importantly, presence. Donald J. Trump has just been elected as 47th president of the United States, and instantly it's as if the planet hit a reset button. The reports are streaming in from every corner of the globe, and conflicts that have dragged on now for years are suddenly cooling down. Adversaries are talking about peace, and nations are aligning in a way that we haven't seen in a long time.
And I just want to emphasize one of the comments we read at the beginning of this video. The Dems had 4 years, and Trump's been in there for 4 days. This is nuts. Like, seriously, how are you still a Democrat in 2024? I mean, it's crazy. And then you see their meltdowns. They just been misinformed, and life is getting better. The whole thing is crazy.
Why is that the case? Because people know that they finally have to get in line. No more blank check for your deepest and wild ambitions. No longer the Cheney warmongering approach of we'll fight this thing no matter how long it takes and no matter how many people die. No, now it's the Trump approach.
Can you say if you want Ukraine or Russia to win this war?
I want everybody to stop dying. They're dying. Russians and Ukrainians. I want them to stop dying.
He just wants people to stop dying. And of course, it's beyond the sentiment. It's most importantly that people know he's serious, and he's going to put his foot down to make sure it happens. Both sides understand this. I mean, let's just talk Ukraine for an instance. The moment Trump gets elected, both sides know they have to play ball. They have to come to the negotiating table because Trump holds leverage on both of them, and they know that he's going to use it. Not blah, blah, blah and pretend, like the previous administration, canceling their own Keystone XL pipeline project while greenlighting the Russians. Oh, we're being real hard on Putin as they allow him to continue selling billions of dollars of energy to Europe, funding the exact war that they're funding on the other side. I mean, it's idiotic. Well, now the adults are back in charge. And Trump's serious when he says he wants the conflict to end so the world can focus on moving forward and prospering. He's focused on the people prospering, not the military-industrial complex prospering. It's a different approach. Previous American administrations have always taken this hardline stance, this hard-ass stance. You're gonna do as we say or else, and it's always escalated issues abroad. This sort of world policing, imposing your own beliefs on foreign nations, and waging war if they don't comply. You know, maybe following the rise of communism, there was a certain value to it, but at this point, I think a lot of people are understanding that it's time to stop meddling in other people's affairs. Trying a different approach of using American might, not to force the world into submission, but to force the world to come to the negotiating table, to slowly and diplomatically get foreign nations to start playing ball. It's that age-old saying, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Trump understands this, and look, the typical warhawk types seem to despise it. They think it's a bad strategy that's going to backfire, but at this point I think the reaction from a lot of people is, well, you know, what you've been doing for the last however many decades hasn't exactly been working. You know, the risk of World War III and all. And so how long do you keep doing the same thing over and over again expecting different results? I think there's just a general embrace for really any shift in approach. People like the Trump approach. He may not be achieving the quick results that a military conquest would achieve, but who knows, maybe things get better over time. And just think about the last however many decades. It's not like the American war machine is winning any of these wars and bringing peace and stability to any of these regions. They seem involved in what's called forever wars, endless wars. And you know, it feels almost as if this time the world understands Trump's intentions and people are already getting on board. And if that's the case, I mean, what does it all mean for the American people? Well, it means potentially entering an era of renewed focus on American interests, real peace deals, and of course what follows during times of peace, economic prosperity. I don't know about you guys, but I have a heightened sense of optimism. It feels like,
Yep, let's get the money flowing.
this time, Trump's going in this thing with less obstruction and a clear mandate. He has an opportunity to deliver on his promise to truly make America great again in a way that goes beyond rhetoric. Imagine what can be accomplished if Trump is actually able to govern here without the relentless obstruction that plagued his first term. Imagine if we see an end to these wars and a start of America for the first time in a long time looking within. We're talking revitalizing the economy, securing the border, strengthening alliances, and truly putting America first, and hopefully leading the world by example. Not forcing American values on the rest of the world, but rather showing the world exactly what America is all about. I don't know, like I just said, I feel like I have this incredible sense of optimism right now. It feels like there's a psychological realignment. Like Trump derangement syndrome is at an all-time low, and people just know what to expect, and it's almost as if, you know, common sense is prevailing. Actually, as I'm recording this, I'm scrolling Twitter, and look what pops up on my timeline.
I do think that Europe needs to take more responsibility, but this is probably one of the incentives also to start ending the war or trying to find some kind of a peace settlement. I think the money funnels at the end of the day are going to be a little bit more in a win-win situation because, of course, when the war is over, it's going to be all about reconstruction. And suddenly we're going to start seeing a lot of companies, European, American, and others, who want to come and do the reconstruction of Ukraine. But I do think that Europeans understand that we have to take more responsibility, but we will survive, and we will survive together with the United States.
It's been 4 days and the president of Finland is now finally talking about Europe taking responsibility and that it's now time to call an end to the war. 4 days as president-elect and he's already accomplished some of his biggest promises, and it seems almost as if he's accomplished more than Joe Biden and Kamala did in 4 years. It's that Trump magic, baby. They call it crazy, but every single time, fast forward a couple months, a couple years, and we're right back in the same position, saying the same damn thing. We frickin' told you so. Anyways, that's
So shout out to the liberal hive mind, and this is stuff that we're saying. Okay, Biden and Harris, you know, that plague, we've been unburdened by what has been. Shout out to whoever said that. That is the complete facts. Okay, we've been unburdened by what has been. Okay, Donald Trump in office is common sense back in charge. Okay, common sense is back in charge. Okay, it's just a beautiful thing to see, and it's like, oh, it's like a breath of fresh air. Finally, this curse of the Harris administration, this curse of the Biden administration is gone. It's lifted up off of our shoulders. You know, I take a walk outside, and it's like people are not edgy anymore. Granted, I'm excluding liberals when I say that. When I see liberals, it's like, oh my gosh, what is this, Jurassic Park? You know, these liberals are melting down like crazy. But and I'm here for it. And we will cover that, okay? But it's just like, you know, people are just, you know, happier. It's like there's like let me know if you guys can relate to that. It's like a positive feeling in the air almost, okay? It's like a positive just energy out and about, you know, that Trump is in office now. It's like, oh, finally. You know, whereas Harris and Biden were in office, you know, the economy was just like getting destroyed. Okay, just literally annihilated. And then it's like everybody's edgy. You know, I'm like kind of scared to make friends. It's like, oh my gosh, you know, everybody's kind of like, ugh, you know, pockets are on pennies and barely that, you know, and they were taking that too. So it was crazy. But it's amazing to see how he's been in office for just these 4 days and all this stuff is happening. And this is what we call respect. If Harris was in office, she would have gotten no respect, okay? She would have just been cackling and hee-hawing her way all throughout her entire presidency, and America would have been a giant crap show, an even bigger dumpster fire, and the entire country would just be a giant cesspool, and it'd literally be hell on earth. It'd be nuts, okay? You think people's bank accounts took a hit with the Biden administration? Oh my gosh, the Harris administration would have been 10 times worse. It would have been nuts. But yeah, that's not the case. Thank God for that. And shout out to all the amazing patriots that put in the work and voted and did everything that we needed to do to ensure that Trump got through that line and became our president. Number 47. We did it, okay? So really awesome stuff. Really excited to see all this great stuff happening. And that's my thoughts on it. Let me know what you guys think and how are you feeling about this? Comment down below. And I'm really interested in hearing what you guys have to say about this. And as always, be sure to smash that like button, hit subscribe, share these videos, and thank you to everyone who watched this video all the way through, left a positive comment. Shout out to the King Squad, the King Squad family, and the King Squad elites. Shout out to everybody who donates to the channel, keeps me updated. I appreciate you guys greatly, and have a great and awesome day. You guys are awesome, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.